So for the last probably 2 weeks or so,
Yeah.
since we moved the garden girls over here, we've been getting between, okay Thor, we've been getting about 2 to 3 eggs a day is all. So we just thought maybe they just slowed down for right now because they didn't really slow down over the winter time. And Mike just came over here and outside of the fence, look what we found.
That's a little clutch, huh? Some have been bit.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Huffman house. It's a nice sunshiny day. The wind is really crazy outside. Kind of fell down on the job this year. Usually, if you've been with us for the last couple years, you'll know that at the end of fall time or whatever, before winter, I usually get out, I clean out the beds, I cover them with plastic on the above ground beds and all that. I didn't get any of that done this year. I usually have the greenhouse cleaned up, and by now I usually have a count on how many of the trays we have and how many cells we have and what we're gonna need. Haven't done any of that. I don't know what happened this winter, but I just totally fell down on the job, on all of that kind of stuff. But that's okay, that happens, you know. Not everybody's perfect, and we don't always get things done all the time, regardless of what some people may let you believe. You know, sometimes things just fall to the wayside, and a lot of it did this year, and that's okay. So our biggest planting, not planting in the ground, but planting seed starting, is always on Valentine's Day. And if you go back the last couple of years, we do have videos on that, so we're not going to go into detail on our seed starting. You can go back and watch those. I'll link them at the end or down in the description below. So like I said, it's our big seed starting is Valentine's. Well, Valentine's is tomorrow. And like I said, I don't have a count on anything. I don't even have starter mix here, which I normally already have it here ready to go. So that's what I'm going to work on today, is just trying to get this greenhouse cleaned up, get a count of what we still have that's still good, and then what we're going to need to get. So the trays that we use are from Greenhouse Solutions, I believe, and we'll link that in the description below. These are about a medium. They're not the cheap that fall apart within like a year. They're pretty sturdy. We've had these probably 2 years now. And for the most part, most of them are still in great condition. We do, you know, lose a few here and there. They may get cracks in them, and we do bottom water our seed trays when we water. So if they get cracks and stuff in them, then, you know, they're not going to hold the water to water them. So we have to go through and get rid of them. And the best thing for that is, get rid of this dirt, is kind of just hold them up to the sun, and you'll be able to see if there's any cracks or little holes in them. So like I said, over time you do lose them. They're not as flimsy as the cheap ones. So I'm gonna do a count, see how many of these we have. Definitely on the cells. These cells are also, I don't know if you'd say mid, probably about mid. They're not the cheapest either. But what's happened in the past is when I don't clean up the greenhouse in the heat of the high summer, if these are against the, where it's getting a lot of sun and it gets too hot in here, we've melted these. So I know for a fact we're going to need to get some more of these. Now, Mike has been doing some research, and then other YouTubers that we watch, they have the hard, sorry, not tray, the cells that's all one piece. And I'll show you, I'll put that in right here for you so you can see. So it's all one piece, and they're a lot, you know, sturdier than these are. I like them, but the only thing I I don't like about that, and so we haven't decided if we're gonna get those or not yet, is sometimes in a whole flat, you know, we may have 4 different types of plants or something. And so, you know, having them in the 4 cells, you can just take the 4 cell and put it where you want it instead of having to carry the whole tray. Or what if you only need to plant, you know, like you've planted all these trays or whatever, and then you've got like 8 plants you have left to plant. You would have to plant, you know, you would have to use that whole big old cell thing. Does that make sense what I'm trying to say? I hope that makes sense to you guys. It makes sense to me. I don't know if it's going to make any sense to you. So anyways, that's why I haven't really given him the okay on getting those yet or not. Maybe we'll get like 1 for like the stuff that we know we're going to be planting a ton of. I don't know. I haven't decided. So I will give him the count when he gets home from work today on what we do have and then what we do need. And yeah, we'll go from there and see what we want to order and such. So. There's always your free stuff that you get when you buy plants. We try to seed everything that we grow, but I think it was last year for some reason I didn't get my basil planted, so I had to go out and buy basil. So, you know, sometimes you do end up with the ones and just save them. Then you have free stuff. So you can see right here what I was talking about, where they got melted. They were still usable, but we're gonna go ahead and get rid of them and start fresh this year. Okay, so I got it looking a little bit better. This is where we usually put our trays and work on getting our seeds planted on this area here on this side. So I got it cleaned up. All our chemicals, well, not chemicals, all natural stuff. But that type of stuff's over here. Now on the trays here, we only had these 4 and these 3, so that's only 7. So we'll probably end up getting a few more of the trays themselves. And then as far as the cells, as you can see, so all these are filled up, and then it only filled up 1 more tray with what we had. Now we do have some of the bigger 4x4 ones here, and a whole stack of them here. So I don't know, we may use those, or we may just go ahead and order some more cells like I had talked about earlier in the video. I did want to show you one more thing that I found pretty funny. We dry our onions up here and our garlic up here when we pull them. And I actually found this little fella we must have missed. An onion. It's definitely not edible. I guarantee you that. It feels pretty dang nasty. So, and I got a bunch of trash out of there. So yeah, coming together. Look what I just noticed when I came out of the greenhouse. All right, so we have a whole nother tray and probably another whole tray of cells. Well, that's good. Now to get all the seeds out and start going through what we're gonna need.